And all this to return here, to a place with no way out. But luckily, it's just another bad dream.
What is up, guys? Gamerverse back again here to do another review for you guys today, man. So today we are reviewing a horror game called LUTO. I'll give you guys a quick overview about LUTO. This game did release a while ago. In fact, it released in July, actually 21st of July 2025, and I was only able to get my hands on the game recently. I've been playing the game for about maybe 2 days or so. It isn't a really long game. The game is quite short. The game in total will take you about 5 hours. Yeah, so this game is compared to iconic horror games like PT, the recent game that I also played on my channel called Visage, and Amnesia. This is like a psychological slash house horror slash realistic type of horror game with photorealistic visuals as well. So the game looks stunning and it looks really good. The details in the game create epic immersion, and the lighting, but we'll get into that a little bit. Let's talk our first topic. Let's talk about the atmosphere. So the game has photorealistic visuals and environmental details that create super immersion. The use of lighting in the game is super awesome, and the environmental storytelling in the game is quite unsettling at times to the player. And because this is more of like a short and sweet horror game, they managed to make the details in this. Most of the game is played in a house, but as you progress in the game, a lot of things in the house changes. So there's a lot of parts in the house that changes as you go. But that is more of something that happens over the time as you progress. So yeah, the graphics looks really good. I had the game tuned up to ultra settings, and I got a solid 60 frames per second, and really good experience. No bugs or anything like that. Though something strange happened. There was a particular part in the game where I had to complete something, but then I'm not sure what happened. Like, I did something that the game didn't want me to do, and then the game just quit by itself for some reason. And then I looked that up, and that's actually the game does take a look at how you play, takes all of your decisions into play, and if you're doing something that the game doesn't like, or the game will actually quit by itself. But that only happened to me once, and I was able to get past that and figure out my way, and I did progress in the story. So I just thought I'd mention that fact. That's a really cool fact. Next, let's talk a little bit about the approach that they took. The game taps into a lot of themes. There's a little bit of grief in there, isolation. There are some cool jump scares in there, unsettling dread. The game is more of like a PT vibe mixed with Visage, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. But the approach that they take here is really cool. It's not like a Resident Evil game. It's timely horror that they use, and they use particular jump scares in the game. And the approach that they take here is very methodical. The method that they use is really good, and there's a certain approach that they really took that makes the game stand out between other games. But it can really be heavily compared to like PT and things like that. So yeah, I would say PT, Visage, and a little bit of Amnesia mixed in between the gameplay. But yeah, that actually brings us to the gameplay. Let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. The pacing, it's a little bit of a slow burn exploration type of game. So you've got to explore in order to progress. You've got to interact with elements in the game. So you got to interact with puzzles, there's hidden details. There's a lot of hidden details that you will miss if you don't take a look at the levels very carefully in order to progress. And there's a lot of freedom of movement that contributes to the immersion. So you have freedom to walk around in this house as much as you want, as long as you figure out what to do in order to progress in the game. Because if you don't do that, you really won't be able to progress, and you won't be able to continue in the story. And who knows, if you wander around too much, maybe the game will kick you out, because the game does have this kind of like a Stanley Parable. If you guys ever played the Stanley Parable, there is a narrator in the game. So as you play, somebody is narrating your experience. So there's a narrator in the background. So if you make certain decisions in the game, you go to certain rooms, pick up certain stuff, there is somebody talking about it. So that's what I meant by the Stanley Parable kind of approach. If you guys haven't played Stanley Parable, you really need to play it. By the way, I did a review for Stanley Parable on my channel. Go ahead and check that out after this video, or immediately you can come back to this video. Yeah, so that's a little bit of that as well with the narrative approach. So yeah, next let's talk performance. I did kind of touch a little bit on this. Like I said, I got 60 frames per second, very smooth gameplay on PC. The game is out for consoles, by the way. You can get it on PS5, you can get it on Xbox Series X as well. There's really good optimization in this game. I experienced zero bugs, zero crashes. The controls are really smooth. The frame rate, like I mentioned, is really good. So in terms of performance, you are really A for away when it comes to this game. So yeah, next let's talk scare factor. Is that actually scary, or is it just atmospheric? I would compare the level of fear to other modern horror games. It's something different because it does have a lot of those. It takes a lot of influence from those other horror games, but it's completely its own thing, and it is actually very scary. Play it alone with the lights off late at night, and I'm sure you will get a really good experience out of this horror game. It's not just atmospheric. Like I said, you have to fix puzzles, get particular things to progress, and it is really good, and it is quite scary actually. Because of the visuals. For my part, I think it's the visuals and how good the game actually looks compared to other games. It looks really good, and it looks like you are actually in this never-ending type of house that you need to escape from. But the funny thing is, you do go out of the house, but you don't get to see that in the game. So you play as the main character. The main character's name is Sam, and he is somebody that I think he lost his parents, and he's living alone in a house, and you go to work, but there's a lot of things that he needs to be worked out. In fact, he has reoccurring nightmares and things like that. So it's a little bit mixed in with psychological stuff as well. But the scare factor is definitely the yeah. Is it replayable? That's our next topic. I would say it is a one and done experience. I don't think it's worth revisiting unless you really like the game a lot. Unless you really like the game a lot, then yeah, I'm sure you would like to revisit it. Go ahead and do that. How long does it take to finish? Like I said in the beginning of the video, it takes about 5 hours to finish. Doesn't take that long really. It's a very short and sweet game, but it can take you longer depending on how good you are with puzzles. Of course, you can always just look up the puzzles if you want to, but I know a lot of people that don't do that. They don't look up guides at all, so it will take a little bit longer for those type of players. Yeah, next let's talk final verdict. Who should play LUTO in 2025, depending when you're watching this video. I think hardcore horror fans, fans of PT, if you like PT, definitely play this. If you're a casual horror player, jump into this as well. This is something short and sweet that you can jump into, but it is a thriller, and it is for enthusiasts, not only for enthusiasts, but for casual fans as well. If you've never played anything like this game, if you've never touched games like Visage or Amnesia, if you've never touched games like that, this game will really rock your socks off. It is really one of the most realistic horror games out, and it is really really good in that fact that when I say realistic, it is really really good. So yeah, I'm sure you will have a ball of a time with it. And the final score for the game, I'm giving the game a solid 7 out of 10. A lot of the facts was because the game is quite short as well. So yeah, this is just those kind of things that influence the final score for me. The fact that it was very short, the fact that it didn't have a lot of cutscenes. In fact, not cutscenes, zero cutscenes at all. It feels like it could have been something way better than it is. Though it is a really good game, it could have been something greater with with just a little bit of more care and a little bit of more thought. But it is really a good game. That don't let me persuade you the other way to not play this. It is a really good game still, and they managed to make something really good out of the material and out of the budget that they had. So yeah, thank you so much guys for checking out this video. I've been having fun hanging out with you guys. Just let me know if you've played the game before, if you're planning to play it, what you thought about the game. Let me know in the comment section below, and of course like this video, subscribe to my channel, and of course I will see you guys in another video.